This video and all other videos on this channel are for entertainment purposes only. The content of this video and all other videos on this channel are the opinions of the creator only and do not constitute legal, trading, investment, or financial advice of any kind. Investing carries a high level of risk and the majority of retail clients lose money. Do not invest any capital unless you understand the risks and you are prepared to lose it all. Right, hello and welcome to Camel Finance. I'm your boy Camel, and I'm noticing quite a few new subscribers. And of course, if you're new to cycles, some of the stuff we do here may not make a lot of sense to you, but there is a tutorial in the playlist if you're interested in learning how cycles work. Alternatively, you can just hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on, because the thing we do best here is we find the lows. Those lows are going to show up this week. If not this week, by the latest, I would think early next week. So I'm going to put a cap on it and say by Tuesday, we will have found the cycle lows. I will have gotten into some new long positions. So if you're interested in seeing that, please do hit the subscribe button and follow along over the next few sessions. We officially closed September out on extreme greed. And this is allegedly the most bearish month of the year. We are now officially in October. And for Bitcoin at least, 80% of Octobers were green, 100% of election years had a green October, November and December, and 100% of years with green September also had a green October, November and December. Since September is green and this year is an election year, it's hard not to be bullish here, at least based on historical data. Now, of course, it's just a month, right? It doesn't really mean anything. That old adage of sell in May and go away has been wrong 8 out of the 10 prior Mays. So I'm by no means saying we are guaranteed to have a green month or a green end to the year, but the seasonality is on our side and is in our favor at least. Every single metric and historical data point says Bitcoin has to go higher. Now, of course, as a market, anything can happen. It doesn't have to go higher. But if it was to break down from here, this would really be the first time ever. It'd be the first time we'd ever seen something like that for Bitcoin. And of course, there's a first time for everything. We'd also never seen an all-time high before the halving before. So that was new this cycle. There's been a few things that have been new this cycle. But if you believe Bitcoin is going to do Bitcoin things, then now would be right about the time to see it happen. Powell spoke yesterday and said that we can expect another 50 basis point rate cut. But again, if you're part of the Camel Crew, you've known this for a long time. I would think 75s come in the not too distant future. Perhaps we see a 50 and then we move to 75s. But I still stand by my base case that we are going to see them start to panic cut. Right before we get into the charts and point at these cycle lows that I intend to find this week, I wanted to point this out, okay, because the S&P is the only chart right now which is throwing a curveball as far as I can tell. I'm thinking based on where the cycles are, that should have been a trap yesterday, and what we see now is a few day decline into that cycle low, just like we saw here. Trap, move lower, trap, move lower. And of course, in yesterday's video, I was pointing at the chart being eerily similar to 2007. A lot of people seem to misquote me when I say that. I am by no means saying we've got a subprime mortgage crisis and we're going to have this 2007 GFC repeat exactly as it did. All I am saying is the S&P 500 structure is currently identical to the 2007 structure. It's merely an observation. It's not a call or a prediction. But we have yet more 2007 parallels, because Yellen said on the 30th of October, 2007, just weeks before the recession kicked in, I think the most likely outcome is the economy will move forward towards a soft landing. Fast forward to today, Yellen is saying the exact same thing, suggesting we are indeed on a path to a soft landing. So the parallels continue to repeat. We keep seeing more and more of these things repeat. I actually think we're probably going to get divergence in structure soon, but until we see that, until the market has proved to me we have diverged away, then it seems unreasonable not to at least be aware of this potential scenario repeating. As always in trading, until it becomes invalidated, then it is very much in play. I'm noticing the dollar has found a cycle low and is getting a short-term bounce. The thing we need to watch for is a breakout here. We break out the downward slope in red for the dollar, and for me, that will be even more evidence to suggest that this 2007 thing is going to repeat. If, like me, you really want to see a blow off top and one final push to a new all-time high, then I think we need to see this thing roll over and lose that key 100 level pretty pronto. To show you exactly what I mean about this S&P 500 count right here, okay, we are expecting somewhere in the neighborhood of a day 40 cycle low plus or minus a few days. As of yesterday's close, we put in a 39-day print. To illustrate this one more time, okay, here is the equivalent chart structure back in 2007. This would be the equivalent to the yen carry trade unwind, and it made a day 39 high. Okay, day 39 high, day 46 cycle low, and then that was all she wrote. So far we've got a day 39 high, like I said. Maybe we're going to get an extended day 46 day cycle, something akin to Wednesday of next week. This is why I said at the start of the video, I'm confident we're going to be able to find the low by early next week at the latest. I said I'd put a cap on it at Tuesday, maybe give me one extra day of wiggle room to Wednesday. One thing I'm noticing is this week we have a huge amount of unemployment data coming out all throughout the week. We've got JOLTS today, job openings. Tomorrow we've got ADP, employment change. The following day, we've got initial jobless claims, continued jobless claims. And on Friday, we've got unemployment rate for the US, non-farm payrolls. So all throughout this week, we are going to get to see more and more of this unemployment data come out. I wonder if that is the narrative to drive the dip into the cycle low. As I often say, cycles are in control and traders and investors will always append a narrative to explain away the price action. The cycles say we need to have some kind of pullback here. Doesn't have to be as low as my yellow squiggle before finding a cycle low and reversing. And given the amount of unemployment data that comes out, I think that would just about do it. Okay, we see some dodgy or wobbly numbers that will say, okay, maybe the recession fear is still there for some investors, maybe unemployment is still deteriorating, and that will give the market that space to sell off for a few days into those cycle lows. Like I said, with the S&P 500, I am still cautious because this current structure here is incredibly similar to the 2007 structure that ended up morphing into a lower high and a rollover. I do think we need to be on guard for that, although it is still not my base case. My base case is we do get a drop, cycle low and go. And remember, seeing a drop, cycle low and go with a new high completely invalidates the 2007 setup. Once we print a new high, we will no longer be repeating the 2007 structure, and I think we could all breathe a sigh of relief knowing that hopefully we can put that behind us and start to look forward to greener pastures. Yesterday's candle did open up a new scenario, which is that we just trade sideways in here for a few days and then get a breakout above. If that's the case, then we will have printed a timing-based cycle low straight out of the PDF and the tutorial in the playlist. So if you don't know what that is, you can always go and check that out in the playlist video. Or of course, you can just subscribe and watch me do this in real time with my daily updates. As of yesterday, the Nasdaq looks like it is on its way to finding a cycle low. It looks to have printed a swing, which I like the look of. A few more days of decline, cycle low and go would make a lot of sense. And the Dow Jones also has the making, if it can close today's candle red, of putting in a swing high as well, looking for that cycle low and go. Happy days there. Russell 2K also looks to be working on some kind of two drives pattern, cycle low and go. Again, normal and to be expected if you understand cycles. Gold also, if I move my yellow squiggle out the way, looks to be completing a daily cycle swing high. Happy days there, on its way to a cycle low early next week as well, perhaps even by the end of this week. So again, cycles doing cycle things. And Bitcoin seems to me to be on something like day 25. We were expecting somewhere in this day 30 neighborhood for a half cycle low, and then we should be looking for a significant push to the upside, something like this, daily cycle low, and off we go again. And for the VIX, we do appear to be getting this 3 or 4 day pop-up, indicative that the cycle low for the stock market is coming before ultimately we see probably something like this, little pop down into that cycle low for the VIX, whilst the stock market finds its lows and starts to push off. And then it will be time for me to get some hedges on. So as you can see, I'm saying the same things over and over again. It's going to continue to be a little bit of a quiet week. We're going to continue to watch for that unemployment data because that fits into the base case for the weekend's deep dive. We're going to continue to look for those cycle lows to show up into the end of this week or perhaps as early as next week, as I said. One more time, if you're new here, if you're new to cycles, if you don't really understand them, hit that subscribe button, tune in every day, and you can watch me find these lows. That's what we do best here. And like I said, we will get behind some longs once we have found those cycle lows. In the meantime, it's probably going to be a little bit of a quiet week. I'm going to enjoy having a quiet week since these days they're few and far between. And until next time, I hope you're doing well in life. Take care from me. All the best. Cheers. Bye. Camel Crew.